Kiana, and today I'm going to be giving you guys a story time about something that happened to me when I was 8. So let's get into the video. Okay, so I was born in Georgia, but I moved back home to the Virgin Islands, St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands, because my grandmother had gotten sick and I was like 1 year. I moved 2005. I was born in 2004. So we moved back to the U.S. Virgin Islands. My mom was a teacher, and she had met somebody who she had met a friend, and he was doing security, and he wanted to become a police, and so did my mom. So they joined the police force together, and they became close friends, and they got married, or they started dating, and then like they got married, and he had been around. He was like a father figure because while my brothers had their dad, even though one was in Georgia and the other one was on the island, we all had separate dads. They had ended up moving into separate houses. But because my bond with him was close, my mom would let me go over to his house and like stay over there because it was like a father-daughter type bond. He would, it was signs that if I was my age now when it happened, I would have caught on. But because I was 8, I didn't know what was happening. So it was signs like he would like touch me or hug me weirdly or like just do certain stuff. So he would like when my brothers would go outside and I would ask to go outside because I was a tomboy, I would ask to go outside. He would be like, no, you can stay in here with me and watch TV. And like he would just like hug me and like while we watched TV, and I didn't think nothing of it. So one day we were in the separate houses and I had spent the whole week with my mom, but he had asked if he could have me for the weekend, and my mom was like, yeah. So I had came over there. It was a normal day. Took me to get something to eat, took me to the park, simple stuff like that. I was home. We had got home. I'll never forget. We walked up the stairs and he was like, time for you to go take a shower. So I took a shower. He helped me, but he didn't like, do any extra stuff. I had got out the shower and it was time for me to go to sleep. So he was like, it's not nighttime. But he didn't want me to sleep in the living room by myself. So, cause I had a room, but it wasn't done. My bed wasn't done yet. So I had a room, but I had slept in the living room. He put a mattress and he put the projector on the wall, cause we didn't have a TV yet. So he put the projector on the wall, and I had an orange flower nightgown. It was orange and purple, and it had flowers on it, and it was like sunflowers. And I didn't have anything under it other than like a panty. So he was like, "Are you gonna take this off?" And I was like, sure, because sometimes I would sleep like that, sometimes I wouldn't. But so I was just like, sure. So I took it off, and I laid back down, and I got under the cover. And I wasn't expecting him to get under the cover with me. So he got under the cover with me, and he like just touched like my chest or whatever. But I thought he was just resting his hand on my chest. So I'm laying down watching a movie, and I start to feel him like touch me, and I'm just like, this is weird. Like, okay. So I'm like, can I go to the bathroom? And he was like, yeah. So I go to the bathroom, and he comes in there and he helps me. And then while I'm using the bathroom, he just starts like touching me and stuff. So then I finally finish using the bathroom, and I get up, and he's sitting on the bathtub because the toilet was right next to the bathtub. So I get up and finish doing what I'm doing. He's just sitting there, and I get up and I look at him, and he pulls me to him, and he kissed me like on my lip, and he hugged me and held me close. He was like, that's our little secret, don't tell nobody. So I said, okay. He said, you promise? I said, yeah. So we walked out into the living room, and I'm just like, I'm ready to go to sleep. So I'm laying down falling asleep, and after the movie is over, he lets the credits go through. So he just like lifts me up and lays me on him, and like he lifts me up and lays me on him. So I'm laying on his chest, and he just starts like touching my body and just rubbing on me and kissing me and stuff. And then he turned like my body around and just, you know, at this time I don't like know what's going on, so I'm just like like I don't know what's going on. So I just tell him I want to go to sleep, and he lets me go to sleep. So I didn't say anything because he was like, that's all of the secrets. I said, okay. So this time, the next couple times it happened, we was in my mama's house. Like, he had came over for the week, and we was in my mama's house. And it was the time I had asked to go outside to play with my brothers, and he was like, no, you can stay inside with me. So I just went in my room, because this time in my mama's house I had a bed. I shared a room with my little brother, Kellen. So I was in my room, and he just came in out of nowhere. He just started like touching me and stuff. My mom was at work, and I was the only person in the house for him, and he just like did it again. And my brother didn't know nothing because they was outside. And one day I went to school, and they was all talking. Everybody at school was talking about like this is this is my dad, and this is what he does for me. So I brought up what he did, and I'm like, well, I have a stepdad, and he did this and he did this. And my teacher, Miss Sharp, I will never forget her name. Her name was Miss Sharp, and she was like, Kiana, can you come here? So I came to her, and she was like, what did you say your stepdad did? And I told her, and she looked at me, and her eyes widened, and she was like, come with me. So she took me outside, and she called my mom. And my mom came to the school and was like, what? She was so mad. She was so angry. So I had got checked out of school that day, so they let me go home. And my mom was so angry, and she just was like, why wouldn't you tell me this happened? Or like why didn't you send it to me? And I said, because he said it was a little secret. After that, she called, like, she told like her police friends, because she was a police at the time, and so was he. So they arrested him, took away his gun, took away his badge, and I think he got out on bail or whatever that thing. I don't know how that works. So they had asked me if I wanted to do a trial, and at first I was like, yeah. So I was supposed to do the trial or whatever, and it was like months and months, and as I was getting like more fond of what I had to do, I didn't like it, because I constantly had to talk about my feelings, and I don't like talking about my feelings. They was constantly asking me like, what did he do, where did he touch you? And it's like, I don't like explaining that because it's uncomfortable. So we went to mock trial, and like I had to, the lawyer took me, my mom, and my little brother to the court, and they was like, this is where you have to stand, this is where you have to sit, and this is what you have to say, and you have to do this oath, and blah blah blah. And I just hated it. I didn't like it. I wanted to go home. I didn't want to be there. And then I told my mom, I was like, I just want to drop the case. Like, I don't want to do the case no more. I don't want to be a part of this no more. Like, I just want to let it go. And she was like, are you sure? And I was like, yes, because I feel like this is too much. Basically, my mom told them, she was like, are you sure? I was like, yeah, I don't want to do this no more. And she just told them, like, it's okay, we're going to drop the case, even though I don't want to drop the case. She wants to drop the case. She feel like it's too much. So they had put me in counseling, and I hated it. I didn't ever want to go to the appointments, and every time I went, I wouldn't listen. I wouldn't talk to her. It was getting nowhere. And I was just like, I don't want to have to deal with any of this anymore, because I don't like talking about my feelings. It's uncomfortable. So my mom took me out. We had moved up here, and part of it felt like a fresh start, a new start, a restart. And it's like I don't ever have to see that man again because he's stuck on that island. Like he can't go nowhere. Like that's on his records forever. He was like it's stuck on his records. He can't go nowhere. Oh my god, that is so annoying. But yeah, so he's stuck on that island. He can't do anything with his life. He can just be a security guard, whatever job he decides to do. That's not police or law enforcement. So when I moved up here, I feel like it was a weight lifted off my shoulders because I don't ever have to see him again. I don't ever have to talk to him again. I don't ever have to. I have space and time to get over it. So as I moved up here, I would still like have nightmares and it would still bother me a little bit. But it was easy because it's not like I have to go somewhere and see him or go to my favorite relaxing place and see him. I could just like get away. I was at the true getaway. We moved up here and it got so much better for me. Like I became stronger. I felt better. I was able to actually like let go and talk about it without breaking down completely. Like yeah, a few tears would drop, but I was able to tell my story in a sense. And one thing I did feel when I first moved up here, I felt regret because I felt like I gave him the opportunity to do that to somebody else again. I felt like if he had did the same thing to somebody else, it would have been my fault. I felt like looking back at it now, if I was where I was now, I would go back and put him away. But I feel like that situation has made me 1,000 times stronger because I would never ever give anybody the opportunity to take advantage of me. I would never let somebody, if I see something like that and I peep it, I automatically say something about it. Like it has made me so much stronger as a person that I will never, ever give anybody else the opportunity to even try. I'm just glad that I am who I am today. Also, I just wanted to, because I forgot to talk about it, but this fabric that I keep with me, that was a coping mechanism that I use. So it's not like I'm not 100% like perfectly. Like I don't think anybody will come out of that situation 100% normal. Like, but that is the story time. And the time I was molested by my mom's husband or ex-husband at the age of 8.